That's right. Today, I'm going to go through 6 incredible strategies so that you are able to go out there and meet someone for the first time and feel that you are able to bring your best self forward. Now, that might be in job interviews. That might be on a first date. That might be meeting a friend of a friend of a friend. That might be meeting a significant other's parents. Whatever the context is for you, if you feel uncomfortable or worried or nervous or anxious when you have to meet someone new, you need these hacks. Let's see what the first one is out of this box. This is to smile. Now, I know it sounds super obvious, but actually, if you allow yourself to enter into that space, enter into that room, meet that person with a smile on your face, you will immediately calm a great majority of the nerves that you have. And that is because you are telling your brain that everything is okay, even if it feels like you want to run away. By smiling, you're allowing those feel-good chemicals to course through your body. But that's not all. When you smile to someone, you signal to them that there is something good that is about to happen. You are giving them the thumbs up. You're saying, you know what, this exchange we're about to have, it's going to be a positive experience for you. And when you communicate that to the other person, then they are able to let their guard down. And when that happens, you're on to a good thing. Eye contact. This is one of the things that can be super uncomfortable if you're shy. Look, I used to be incredibly shy. I found it difficult to speak to anyone, whether I knew them or not. That is one of the major challenges that I have had to overcome in my life. And learning how to use eye contact effectively has been a game changer for me. And I know that it can be for you too. But I'm not going to pretend this isn't scary the first time you start doing it. If eye contact is a problem for you when you're in a situation that you feel uncomfortable in, then this can be a challenge. Now, what do I even mean when I'm talking about eye contact? Well, it's about engaging with that person that you are meeting for the first time. So if that is someone who's going to interview you, or if it is that blind date that you're on, making eye contact is disarming in a really positive way. What it does is it allows you to connect with another human being. We communicate through our eyes first and foremost. And when you're able to make that important eye contact in those first few moments, those first impressions, then you are allowing a relationship to begin to form. One of the most empowering things you can remember when you're meeting that person for the first time is that they are another human and that you can relate to them on a human level. And at base, we are all equal. By making eye contact, we communicate on a base level. And in fact, we are social beings. And when we have that connection to another social being, oxytocin, one of our feel-good chemicals, can start running through our body, which will begin to relax us in that situation. So as scary as it may feel to make eye contact, as easy it may feel to avert eye contact, to look down or to look out the window or wherever it is, look away from that person, actually, one of the most important things you can do when you're meeting someone for the first time is connect with them. The number 3 confidence hack: ask questions. This is so important when you are on an interview, when you're on a date, when you are meeting someone in any kind of context that makes you feel slightly vulnerable. If you allow yourself to ask questions, you are able to give yourself a moment of reprieve, maybe a moment to pull yourself together if you feel like you're wavering, like your confidence is taking a bit of a back seat. But the other thing that asking a question does is it shows your interest, shows your engagement. You know that moment in a job interview when you get asked, do you have any questions? Always reply with a yes, whatever the question is. And the reason this is important is because it shows that you're interested. It shows that you're engaged, and it shows that you're invested in what's going on for that other person. And when you show that to the other person, then they're going to want to feel that reciprocal investment in you. So ask questions. And here's a helpful tip. It can be really important to prepare those questions ahead of time. Use open body language. So what do we mean by open body language? Well, for starters, don't clasp your hands, don't play with your fingers. If you are someone who finds that that anxiety or that lack of confidence results in you kind of wringing your fingers, here's a really simple strategy. Just put them behind your back. You can wring away if you need to. If that is the way that you need to find comfort in that moment, just stick them behind your back, because what that does is it still opens your chest. It still presents you to the other person. When we are open in communication with another human, we are signaling to them that we feel comfortable being vulnerable. That's why our closed positions, where we touch our necks, cross our hands, cover our faces in certain ways, make us feel more comfortable, because we are not allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. But what it signals to the other person is exactly that, that we don't want to expose ourselves, that we don't actually want to allow any connection with that other person. Opening your body up to someone else when you're meeting them for the first time, allowing your vulnerability will communicate to them that you are invested in whatever kind of connection this needs to be, whatever kind of connection is going to serve you and that other person. So get your hands behind your back. Ideally, let them rest by your side. But as I say, if you're a finger wringing kind of person and you're not ready to give that up just now, get those hands behind you. That will allow your chest to open, allow your shoulders to roll back, and it will also make you feel more confident. Which brings me to the next hack that I want to unbox here, which is to plant your feet. Give yourself a solid base. This is something I talk about a lot and use with my clients, something we put into practice in a really physical way. By giving yourself a solid base, by planting 2 feet firmly on the ground, you're going to feel so much stronger in that moment. But you're also going to communicate that strength to the person that you are meeting. And that feeling of strength and that communication of strength will mean that that person is going to respond in turn to your strength, allowing the whole interaction to feel more powerful and like you have something strong to offer to that situation. So plant your feet firmly on the ground. Make sure you have equal weight distributed between both feet. You want to give yourself a slight A-frame there. And the reason this is really important is because that means that you are quite literally ready to take the blows. The final confidence hack that we're going to unbox today is to decide your greeting. What on earth do I mean by this? I've traveled all over the world and people greet each other in all sorts of different ways. And sometimes the most awkward, cringeworthy moment is when you go into that room and you suddenly realize that you don't know how to greet. Is it a handshake? Is it a kiss on the cheek? What are you meant to be doing right now? But here's the real hack in this particular tip. You get to decide how you want to make that greeting. You can be the one in charge. If you walk into that room and you present your hand, chances are that person is going to take it to shake it. However, if you walk into that room and you're not quite sure, well, then they're going to read all of that insecurity and that unsureness and maybe not know sure right back at you. Walking into a room and knowing how you plan on greeting the person can give you a sense of owning the situation, but also can be read as someone who is decisive. Having these 6 hacks up your sleeve whenever you need to meet someone new means that you can go in to that meeting with the very best version of yourself. And really, when you're there doing your thing, you know you're onto a winner. So let's say goodbye to those cringeworthy, awkward first meetings, and let's say hello to a fully powered up version of yourself.